My mom left me at my grandpa's house at 17 because I was too much. The medical condition I was born with wasn't enough reason for her to stay, but it was enough reason for a stranger who barely knew me to learn everything about keeping me alive. My name is Ethan Walker. I'm 19 years old, and this is the story of how my mother abandoned me because managing my chronic illness disrupted her new marriage, how my grandfather learned to save my life in the span of a week, and how the woman who gave birth to me learned too late that being too much for the wrong person just means you're exactly enough for the right one. I need to start in July 2024. Portland, Oregon. I was 17, about to start my senior year. I have type 1 diabetes, diagnosed when I was 10. It's not the kind you get from lifestyle. It's autoimmune. My pancreas doesn't produce insulin. Without insulin, I die. That's simple. Managing it is relentless. I check my blood sugar 6 to 8 times daily. Finger prick. Test strip. Number. Inject insulin before every meal. Count every carbohydrate. An apple is 15 grams. Slice of bread is 20. Miscalculate, too much or too little insulin, and I'm either unconscious or heading to the emergency room. I wear a continuous glucose monitor. Small sensor I insert into my abdomen every 10 days. Sends my blood sugar reading to my phone every 5 minutes. Alarms sound when I'm dangerously high or low. All day, all night. The supplies cost a fortune. Even with insurance, insulin runs about $250 monthly. CGM sensors, backup glucose tablets, syringes, another $150. Sometimes more. My mom was Jennifer, 37. She'd remarried when I was 13 to Craig, 40. He had no children. Craig resented me from the start, especially after he understood what diabetes actually required. The nighttime alarms bothered him. "Can't you silence that? I have work tomorrow." Medical bills irritated him. $400 a month on supplies? That's a car payment. Grocery costs frustrated him. Why does he need special food? He eats what we buy. My mom started resenting me too. Caught between her husband and her son, she chose him. July 15th, 2024. I had a severe low. Blood sugar dropped to 38. Normal range is 80 to 120. Below 70 is dangerous. Below 40 is life-threatening. I'd been watching television. Started feeling shaky, sweating, confused. My sensor alarmed. 38 and falling fast. I stumbled to the kitchen. My sensor was screaming, "Mom, juice, now!" I could barely grip the counter, but I was still conscious enough to drink. She was making dinner. Craig sat at the table scrolling his phone. "Get it yourself, I'm busy," my mom said without looking up. "I can't. I'm too low," I managed to say. She sighed heavily, grabbed orange juice from the refrigerator, handed it to me like I'd asked for a tremendous favor. Craig muttered loud enough for me to hear, "Every other day with this. Exhausting." I drank the juice, sat on the floor, waited for my sugar to stabilize, felt worthless. Next morning, my mom told me to pack a bag. "Where are we going?" I asked. "You're spending time with Grandpa Robert," she stated. "That wasn't planned. What about school starting in 6 weeks?" I questioned. "Just pack, now," she ordered. I packed, confused, scared. My grandpa lived in Woodland, Washington, small town, population maybe 4,000, 3 hours north of Portland. Grandpa Robert was 68, retired carpenter, lived alone since my grandma died 2 years prior. I saw him twice yearly, Christmas, maybe Easter. The drive was silent. My mom offered no explanation. When we pulled into his driveway, she finally spoke. "Grandpa will take care of you for a while. I need a break. Managing your condition is exhausting. Craig and I need time for ourselves," she said, staring straight ahead. "A break? Mom, I have a chronic illness. There's no break from it," I argued. "You're too much, Ethan. The appointments, the alarms, the emergencies, the constant worry. I can't do this anymore. Stay with Grandpa. I'll contact you when I'm ready," she stated flatly. "When you're ready? What does that mean?" I demanded. "It means I need space from you. Get out," she said, and unlocked the doors. I grabbed my suitcase, stood in the driveway, watched her reverse out and drive away without a single glance back. Grandpa came outside, saw me standing there holding my bag. "Ethan?" What's happening? Your mom said you were visiting a few days, Grandpa said, confused. She said I'm staying indefinitely. She needs a break from managing my diabetes, I explained, voice breaking. His face hardened. Come inside, son. We'll figure this out. That first week, Grandpa asked endless questions about my diabetes, how it functioned, what I needed, what the alarms meant, what could go wrong. I taught him everything. How to check blood sugar with my meter, how to count carbohydrates, how to recognize symptoms of high and low blood sugar, how to administer emergency glucagon if I passed out. He took notes, actual handwritten notes in a spiral notebook. He drove to the pharmacy, spoke with the pharmacist for over an hour, asked questions, bought a mini fridge specifically for my insulin storage. He researched diabetic-friendly recipes online, made grocery lists, learned to cook meals that wouldn't spike my blood sugar. He set phone alarms, reminders to check if I'd tested my levels, if I'd taken my insulin with meals. Where my mom saw burden, Grandpa saw his grandson who needed help. August passed. I turned 18. Legally an adult now, but still needing support. I settled into routine. Helped Grandpa with house projects, went fishing at a nearby lake, learned basic woodworking in his garage. He treated my diabetes matter-of-factly, not as a problem, not as an inconvenience, just something we managed together. Late August, I asked, should I go back to Portland? School starts next week. Grandpa called my mom. I heard his side. Jennifer, when are you getting Ethan? School starts September 4th, Grandpa asked. Pause. What do you mean you're not? He's your son, Grandpa said, voice rising. Longer pause. You can't abandon your child because he has diabetes. That's neglect, Grandpa stated firmly. Final pause. Fine. He stays here. But understand you're making a choice that can't be undone. Grandpa warned and ended the call. He sat me down. Your mom isn't coming back. She and Craig decided it's better this way. She said I have time and they don't. She wants you here permanently. I cried. Not because I wanted to return, because my own mother had discarded me. This is your home now if you want it, Grandpa said quietly. I want it, I whispered. Grandpa petitioned for legal guardianship. My mom signed the papers immediately. No resistance. She wanted to be free of responsibility. I enrolled at Woodland High School. Small school. Maybe 300 students total. Difficult at first. New environment. New faces. But I adapted. Joined robotics club. Made friends. Excelled academically in smaller classes with more individual attention. Grandpa attended every parent-teacher conference, every robotics competition, every school function. He learned to advocate for my medical needs. Worked with administration to establish a 504 plan, legal document guaranteeing diabetes accommodations. Permission to check blood sugar during class. Keep snacks at my desk. Use restroom without asking. My health actually improved. My A1C, measurement of long-term blood sugar control, dropped from 8.2 to 7.1, much closer to normal range. Fewer emergency lows, fewer hospital visits, better overall management. Because I had consistent support, stability, someone who genuinely cared. Senior year progressed. I hadn't spoken to my mom since she'd abandoned me. She sent birthday texts, generic messages. Happy birthday! Love you! I never responded. Then March 2025, about 8 months after she'd left me, she appeared. I was in Grandpa's garage, working on a bookshelf we were building. A car pulled up. My mom got out. Alone. Ethan, she said, attempting a smile. I stared, said nothing. Can we talk? She asked. About what? I replied coldly. I made a terrible mistake. I wasn't myself back then. Craig was controlling. We divorced 2 months ago. I'm ready to be your mom again, she explained. I laughed. Actually laughed. You're ready now? I was overwhelmed. You don't understand how difficult it was, she argued. I was 17 with a chronic illness I'll manage for the rest of my life. I needed my mother. You decided I was too much. Grandpa decided I was worth the effort, I stated. Ethan, please, she started. He learned everything about diabetes in 1 week. Everything. He's never complained once, not one time. He checks on me every night to ensure my blood sugar is stable. He drives me to every endocrinologist appointment. He learned to cook for my dietary needs. You gave up after 2 years of marriage to Craig, I interrupted. Grandpa emerged from the garage. Jennifer, you need to leave. He's my son, my mom cried. You relinquished him, signed legal documents. You don't get to appear now because your husband left you and suddenly you're lonely, Grandpa stated firmly. I gave birth to him, she protested. That doesn't make you his parent. I'm his family, Grandpa corrected. She left crying, but she persisted. Phone calls, emails, appearing at my school. I blocked her number, informed school administration not to allow her on campus. Grandpa consulted an attorney, ensured the guardianship was legally airtight. May 2025. I graduated high school, top 10% of my class. Accepted into Oregon State University, biomedical engineering major. I wanted to design improved diabetes technology, better continuous glucose monitors, more efficient insulin pumps, help kids like me. Grandpa sat front row at graduation, beaming with pride. My mom appeared, uninvited, attempted to approach me after the ceremony. I walked past her, took photographs with Grandpa exclusively. She mailed a letter the following week. I know I failed you. I hope someday you'll forgive me. I'm proud of who you've become. I read it once, never responded. I started Oregon State that fall, 2 hours from Grandpa, close enough to visit regularly. Now I'm 19, finishing my freshman year of college. I manage my diabetes independently, but I still call Grandpa when I have questions, when I need support. He's 70 now, getting older, but still mentally sharp, still my biggest supporter. I've realized something important. Being too much for the wrong person doesn't mean you're actually excessive. It means they were insufficient. My diabetes never changed. My mom's willingness to manage it did. Grandpa proved that caring for someone isn't about convenience. It's about commitment. My mom still sends occasional emails. I rarely open them. Grandpa will be at every milestone. College graduation, future wedding, everything that matters. My mom won't be. She asked. I said no. Here's what I learned. Chronic illness doesn't make you a burden. It reveals who's willing to show up when things get difficult. My mother viewed my diabetes as an inconvenience disrupting her perfect life with Craig. My grandfather viewed it as part of who I am and learned everything necessary to help me thrive. I also learned that people who truly love you don't measure your worth by how easy you are to care for. They measure it by who you are fundamentally. Grandpa never once made me feel my diabetes was problematic. He made me feel like his grandson who happened to require insulin. That's the critical difference. Most importantly, sometimes being abandoned by the wrong person leads you to the right one, who proves you were never too much. They simply were never enough. My mother quit when circumstances became challenging. My grandfather stepped up, precisely when I needed him most. One earned the title of parent. The other merely gave birth to me. Some people love you until you become inconvenient. Others love you especially when you need them most. Understand the difference before wasting time trying to be less for people who should be doing more. If this story touched your heart, hit that like button and tell me which country you're watching from. I love hearing from all of you. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss these powerful stories about chosen family, unconditional love, and understanding that chronic illness doesn't define your worth. The people who stay do. New story every single day that will make you think, feel, and connect. See you in the next one. Take care.